Here's what's making news at midday. President Trump meets with Ukraine's president one day after a call with Russia's leader. What's expected to be discussed and where negotiations go from here. Plus, the Brewers are now facing elimination tonight after last night's loss to the Dodgers. Hello, everybody. Welcome to News 3 Now at noon on this Friday. Josh Spreiter will be back on Monday. We begin this noon with the Wisconsin Department of Justice investigating a death in Wautoma Township. A deputy and a state trooper responded just before 5:30 p.m. to a domestic violence call at a home near State Road 73 and County Road O. A man outside ran inside and fired at a sheriff's deputy who returned fire. The man then barricaded himself inside. After negotiations, officers heard gunshots inside. That's when they entered and found the man deceased. No officers were hurt in the standoff. Squad cameras captured the incident. The Department of Justice is leading the investigation and with help from the State Patrol and the medical examiner. Reports will go to the district attorney once complete. Madison police are releasing new details about an incident at Madison West High School that left one student hospitalized. Authorities say they received a call about a battery incident just after 11:30 Wednesday morning. The identities of those involved and the condition of the student that was hospitalized have not yet been released. Madison police say they are currently working with the Madison School District and are still investigating the incident. Now let's get a check on your weather this Friday. Boy, the weekend is off to a beautiful start. It's sunny and warm, but some changes are on the way. Blaze has the weekend forecast. Hi, Blaze.
Hello, that's right. Sunny and beautiful is how we are ending the work week, and breezy as well. We're taking a live look on our Upland Hill sky cam there in Dodgeville, 74 degrees, southwesterly wind shaking the camera a little bit, anywhere between 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts upwards of maybe 20 to 30 miles per hour. We're looking at 25 mile per hour wind gusts in Lone Rock, so near Dodgeville, 22 mile per hour wind gusts in Juneau. This may pick up as temperatures start to cool off a little bit later this afternoon, so expect upwards of maybe 30 mile per hour wind gusts from the mid-afternoon through at least the early evening. Winds are going to continue to remain out of the south and west, and that means our temperatures already at the noon hour in the low 70s, and we're expected to be flirting with the 80s here by about the mid-afternoon. At 69 in the Dells, Camp Douglas, 71 in Black River Falls, Madison, Platteville, Viroqua, 72 in Janesville, Middleton, Verona, as well as in Belleville. We are looking at some rain chances as we head into the weekend, and even as we start off next week. We'll take a look at those systems bringing in the rain and how much we could pick up in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, we'll check back in just a little bit. Thanks so much. Well, today is the last day travelers can enroll in TSA PreCheck at the Dane County Airport. It's open to U.S. citizens, nationals, and permanent residents. Appointments run from 1 to 5. Enrollment in TSA PreCheck costs $77 for 5 years, but families can save $15 per person if you sign up together. You can save time by completing your application online and then bring your ID and fee to your TSA PreCheck appointment. President Trump hosts Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House this afternoon. The high-stakes sit-down comes one day after a phone call between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, more than 3 years into his country's war with Ukraine. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is making the most of his latest trip to Washington. Ahead of his sit-down this afternoon with President Trump, he met with U.S. defense contractors and the U.S. Secretary of Energy.
We are thankful for these contacts, and also we spoke about the companies who can bilaterally also help with some technically with some things.
Zelensky is expected to push the White House for more advanced weapons, including long-range Tomahawk missiles, which Russia says would be a major escalation. While President Trump has previously said he would consider it, he said this on Thursday after a 2.5-hour phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
We need Tomahawks for the United States of America, too. We have a lot of them, but we need them. They're very accurate, they're very good, but we need them, too. So I don't know what we can do about that.
President Trump also said he and Putin agreed to meet in Hungary potentially in the coming weeks. It would be the second in-person meeting between the leaders in recent months. But after the summit in Alaska, Russia's attacks on Ukraine only escalated.
Why do you think a second meeting with Putin now will yield different results?
Well, I think Alaska actually set a stage, and that wasn't very long ago, but it set a stage.
President Zelensky says a barrage of drone strikes this week targeted energy and civilian infrastructure in Ukraine, terrorizing life in the country. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune said yesterday the time has come to move ahead with a bipartisan bill to impose sanctions on Russia. When asked about that comment, President Trump said this may not be the right time for sanctions. Another critic of President Trump has been indicted by a grand jury. John Bolton, Trump's former national security advisor, surrendered to authorities at a Maryland courthouse this morning after being accused of mishandling classified materials. It comes 2 months after federal agents searched Bolton's home in Maryland and his office in Washington, D.C. Bolton says he is innocent, calling the charges part of Trump's, quote, intensive effort to intimidate his opponents to ensure that he alone determines what is said about his conduct. A bipartisan bill going through the halls of the state capitol could soon allow Wisconsin tribal casinos to conduct online sports betting. The bill would authorize a framework called Hub and Spoke, in which the hub, which is the casino's online betting server on tribal grounds, is connected to the spokes, which is people's mobile devices. Right now, the only way sports betting happens in Wisconsin is through tribal nations when the gambler is on the premises. Other popular sports betting sites like DraftKings and FanDuel are illegal in Wisconsin. The Brewers season is on the line tonight after the Crew lost their third straight game to the Dodgers. Once again, Milwaukee could only muster one run against the Dodgers pitchers in a 3-1 final. That is despite Brewer pitcher Jacob Mizorowski giving only one run and striking out 9 batters in 5 innings. Game 4 is tonight. First pitch is at 7:38 p.m. If the Brewers lose, their season is over. The Badgers welcome top-ranked Ohio State to Camp Randall on Saturday. You can watch that game right here on News 3 Now at WISC TV. The defending national champion Buckeyes have won 10 straight games. Meanwhile, Wisconsin has lost 4 straight games overall and 8 straight in the Big Ten. They are 4-touchdown underdogs. Kickoff is set for 2:30 right here on CBS. And here's a look at how we think things will go. Well, Blaze and I both have the Badgers falling, unfortunately, to Ohio State, though I think the defense will be able to keep Bucky in the game. I really agonized about this because what an upset that would be if the Badgers could win. We have to think positive, right? Don't forget to tune into the Wisconsin Huddle tonight. Badger Volleyball's Miley Chan joins sports director Andrew Banstra to talk about all things Wisconsin volleyball. The show starts at 6:30 right after News 3 Now at 6 tonight. And coming up for us on News 3 Now at noon, a warning from the Social Security Administration's watchdog. Plus, how much NerdWallet says we could all end up spending on holiday gifts this year. That's when we come back.
The Social Security Administration's watchdog is warning 75 million beneficiaries not to fall for a fake U.S. Supreme Court letter that falsely claims recipients are under investigation for tax fraud. The scam letter provides a fake website link designed to steal logins and passwords, and it may ask for credit card information. It may also be followed up by a text message and/or phone call. The agency says recipients should report and destroy the fake letter. The Consumer Product Safety Commission alerts people to immediately stop using tens of thousands of personal transportation vehicles and golf carts. Nearly 100,000 Textron E-Z-Go PTVs were recalled because the fuel could leak, posing a fire hazard. Another 23,000 Yamaha golf carts from model years 2017 to 2025 have also been recalled. Regulators say the Drive 2 model lacks stoplights, which can pose a crash risk, and the Yamaha DR2A and DR2E models may fail to brake, which could cause crashes and serious injury. Users should contact the companies for a repair. And a new survey from NerdWallet found Americans could end up spending an average of almost $200 more on holiday gifts this year, in part due to the Trump administration's tariffs. The study predicts Americans will spend around $242 billion on gifts this holiday season. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Thank you, Jesse. Let's see how stocks are faring to end the work week. All of the indices are in the green this noon. The Dow is up 122 points. The Nasdaq is up 12 and the S&P 500 is up 26. Our call for action volunteers are in the building this noon. If you need any help with any consumer complaints, if you need someone to take action on your behalf, pick up the phone and call now. The number is 608-270-2833. Or if you don't have time right now, you can submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call for action. When we come back, we'll check in with Farm Director Pam Jahnke. She has a look at the ag markets, and Blaze has your weekend forecast. And later on, live at 4 this afternoon, we have the top-selling Halloween costumes yet this year. Josh Spreiter has the details in the 608. That's today at 4. It's time for the Midwest Farm Report. Let's check in with Farm Director Pam Jahnke. Happy Friday, Pam.
Yeah, indeed. Happy Friday, Suze. And I'm kind of with you. Want to keep that positive attitude about the Badgers. It would be a fantastic upset if they could pull that off tomorrow against Ohio State. Good luck, boys. Well, we're talking a little bit today about an issue that we've been discussing for a few weeks now. In Wisconsin agriculture, there are proposed fee increases that could impact literally all livestock marketers, whether it's hogs or beef cattle or dairy cattle. They want to increase the fees charged the livestock marketing folks, the yards, the people that transport the cattle. Wisconsin Representative Travis Tranel, as well as Clint Moses, his vice chair on the Assembly Agriculture Committee, have sent a fairly sternly worded letter to the Wisconsin Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection, asking them to reconsider the direction of these fees and listen to the input that they've received from producers. The comments closed on the 15th. That letter made it in under the wire. We'll wait and see what the Wisconsin Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection decides to do after they review those comments. Hey, I want you to review your calendar. What are you doing March of next year? Want to come along with me? I'd love for you to join me on our next agriculture adventure. We're off to London, Wales, as well as the Southern Lake District outside of London. This is going to be a good one. I'm excited. I've never been to London, but then again, I don't worry about it. Holiday vacations goes there all the time. Obviously, we'll do the things in London you'd expect. Buckingham Palace, take a look at the Tower, and also the Beetle memorabilia. But we've got some interesting agriculture highlights tucked in there as well. I know that the trip is already very popular and seats are filling fast. So if you're interested, maybe sometime this weekend, take a look at the website, or you can even pick up the phone and give them a call. Somebody is always there to answer the phone at Holiday Vacations up in Eau Claire, March 22nd through the 31st. I'd love for you to join us. So the livestock markets, again, continuing to hold firm. I do want to kind of put a little cautionary word out there for our Wisconsin livestock producers. Please keep in mind, we're already starting to see cull cow prices in the West start to soften. We know that this beef complex is a very important financial ingredient for a lot of Wisconsin dairies. Do not look a gift horse in the mouth. We want to make sure that we are locking in as much of that beef revenue for your dairy operation as we can, because like I said, my analysts are saying that already cull cow prices starting to come down in the West. Dairy prices today in Chicago. Well, what can I tell you? Barrel cheese is unchanged at $1.77. 40-pound block cheese up 3/4 cents at $1.77.5. Double A butter down 3 1/4 cents, $1.59.5. And one programming note, I guess I could add, Suze, for anybody that was looking at our grain elevator prices and noted some differences in the Platteville location. In reality, those bids are from Mineral Point. We'll be making technical changes to that report coming up next week, but just be clear on where those bids come from. They come from our location in Mineral Point, not Platteville, starting today.
Good to know. Is the harvest pretty much wrapped up? The farmers must be loving this weather.
I was in Platteville yesterday, and I was surprised how many acres are still standing. I think a little bit of rain earlier this week slowed things down. So I'm encouraging people, get out there and take your pictures this weekend.
Yeah.
The colors are glorious, and the harvest action should be beautiful, too.
Good advice. Have a great weekend, Pam. We'll see you on Monday.
Go Pack.
Or you bet. Always. And speaking of the weather, let's head over to Blaze. He has the weekend forecast. It's off to a nice start.
It is. We're in the 70s right now. Forecast to get near 80 this afternoon thanks to those breezy southwesterly winds. So it is going to be warm today. We're looking at some showers there on Saturday. In the morning, we get a break in the afternoon, and then they redevelop as we head into the evening. We'll, of course, take a look at future track in just a moment. And then Sunday, we're slowly going to clear on out. But we're not done with the rain chances, as we could see some showers return by the start of next week. So throughout the rest of the day today, we are going to stay a mix of partly sunny to mostly cloudy, still breezy as we head into the evening and overnight. Could squeeze out a few showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Noticing that a lot of that rain is pushing off towards the southeast by the time we head into that 7, 8 o'clock time frame. And we get a break from not only the cloud cover, but maybe the rain as well as we head into the afternoon. 2:30 is kickoff for the Badgers taking on the Ohio State. It looks like we are going to be quiet. And then we see that rain return as we head into the evening hours Saturday. And then that will push its way eastward as we head into Sunday. So we are looking at still maybe warm conditions, not as warm tomorrow. But most of that shower activity is going to be off towards the southeast as we head into Saturday night. Saturday night into Sunday, that second low pressure system quickly moves on through the Chicagoland area. It is pushing further to the east, so that is going to pull a little bit of that moisture further to the east as well. Maybe not as much rain across southeastern Wisconsin, but quickly following it, a high pressure system. So by the time we go into Sunday afternoon, we are underneath some northwesterly winds and we are quiet. And then our next low pressure system and its rain moves in as we head into Monday. So we are looking at a couple chances for some showers here because nothing's blocking the jet stream. Those two hurricanes, they've long moved eastward into parts of the Atlantic. So the jet stream can move a little bit more. The traffic jam has been cleared. As I mentioned, that low pressure system Saturday night into Sunday looking like it's going to take a lot more of that moisture into parts of Michigan, but we could still squeeze out some very beneficial rain. At this point, any rain is going to be beneficial. I would love to see more blue on this map, given that our drought conditions have unfortunately expanded, because once we get into the blue, that's about half an inch to an inch. Everybody else, we're looking at about a half an inch at best, but likely a quarter or so. Given it's not going to be widespread rain, at least not Saturday evening, but overnight into Sunday, a little bit more widespread. It's probably going to be hit or miss chances between now and Saturday night. Again, we are looking at some quiet conditions as the Badgers are kicking off, but we could be dealing with some rain and maybe a few thunderstorms both during the tailgate and after, hopefully, the Badgers win on Saturday. There was a look at the 7 and 10 day forecast, a couple more rain chances as we go into next week, Monday, and then again on Wednesday. But Susan and folks at home, we're saying goodbye to those 70s as we head into Sunday, and we'll hang out in the 50s in more fall-like temperatures throughout next week.
Yeah, but still not too bad. Not too cold.
No.
Nice,
not
gradual.
Not winter yet.
Yeah. All right, Blaze, thank you. When we come back, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you're a potato lover or know someone who is, then grab a few napkins, because today's recipe will have you drooling. I don't know about you, but I don't know anyone who doesn't love potatoes, in at least one form or another. Maybe that's because they're one of the most versatile veggies in the market. After all, we can boil them, smash them, mash them, brown them, bake them, the list goes on and on. So today, I thought it'd be fun to combine two of my favorites, baked potatoes and mashed. Here's all we do. After baking half a dozen russet potatoes, just until they're tender, we let them cool. Once they are, we cut about ½ an inch or so off the top and scoop out most of the potato, leaving a 1/4 inch shell. Now, to this, we add some sour cream, butter, onion powder, some salt and pepper, and then we'll beat that together. Once it's smooth, we'll spoon the filling back into the skins. A little paprika on top, and into the oven they go until they're piping hot. That's the basic version, but feel free to mix in or top these with some shredded cheese, crumbled bacon, fresh herbs, really whatever you'd like. And when you serve these, everyone will think that it's some special occasion, because they look and taste that good. If you want the recipe for our double stuffed potatoes, it's online now, so you'll be ready with a company fancy side dish that is everyday easy. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where we found a doubly good way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Thank you, Howard. Get outside this afternoon. Nice day.
Yes, 70s and maybe a few low 80s as we sit underneath partly sunny to mostly cloudy conditions. We'll eventually settle into more quiet conditions later this afternoon and into the evening. Friday Night Football not looking to be impacted at all, and we will be dealing with on and off showers as we head through the rest of the weekend.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Enjoy it, everybody. Have a great weekend. Hope to see you back here for Live at 4.